You're most likely going to fail some interviews. I've failed some, everyone at Big Tech has failed them, and that's completely fine. The most important thing is having a system that's going to keep you constantly improving so that in the next interview, you're a better version of yourself. Here are 4 tips that are going to help you to set in stone a good system. I don't really like having fluff in my videos, so I'm going to start with the most important one. Tip number 1. Get yourself a notebook. When you finish an interview, whether it's a successful one or not, you probably have a few points that you either struggled with, that you might have wanted to articulate yourself a bit better, or maybe you couldn't even answer the question to begin with. These are the questions that you need to go ahead and note down. The way I go ahead and do it is I make sure to have at least 1 page for every single question, where the question itself is actually the title and the body is the answer. And I make sure to go ahead and read this notebook every single time right before any other interview. And this is a great way to go ahead and remember the previous mistakes you've made and make sure to never repeat them again. However, there's a big side note to this. If it's a really tough technical concept, noting it down in your notebook is just not enough. You need to make sure to start using this concept in your daily life. What I mean by this is you need to start to actively recall all the information that you're learning. So for example, let's say I struggled answering a question on test cases, then I'm going to make sure that next time when I'm building a small project, even though I might not need it, I'm going to go ahead and write some test cases. I'm going to go ahead and research the topics to make sure that I'm writing good test cases, that I'm having a lot of branch coverage, code coverage, whatever it may be. I want to make sure that I can answer the follow-up questions, because most likely they're going to go ahead and push you even further when it comes to this concept. So they might ask you the preliminary, very basic questions that your notebook trick would help with, but then after that they might ask you some clarifying questions that you'll struggle with because you didn't really use in your active life and you don't really know how to write tests apart from answering the basic questions. Tip number 2. This is kind of a given, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I still see some people not really do this, and it's such an easy thing you can go ahead and implement. Please study before your interview. I'm talking about multiple days, 30, 20 hours of just studying for this role, because at the end of the day, you spent so much time to go ahead and secure yourself an interview. It would be a complete waste of time to not spend that extra 10, 20, 30 hours to make sure that you're ready for this interview. Tip number 3. This is also kind of a given, but it's still something that I see people fall for. I actually fell for it in the beginning, and that's researching the role and the company. Some people will go ahead and just research the company, and usually that's enough, but there's going to be some interviews that are going to ask you specifically about the team that you're going on. And if you go ahead and answer in a lackluster or very generic way, or in a way that is not impressive at all, then your image is going to be pretty lackluster as well. And it's for sure going to bring your odds down. So I'd make sure that I could spend around 2 to 3 hours to really make sure that I understand everything about the company and the role that I'm applying for. Tip number 4. This is a very crucial tip, but please make sure that you spend some time on reviewing your CV. The more impressive the points are, the more likely they're going to ask you about these points. So if you're the person who is struggling to answer on an experience that they've literally written that they've had, then they're not going to be impressed at all, and it's going to hurt your odds on getting the role by a mile. So please make sure that you review everything. Spend an hour, spend 2, just review everything, all the projects that you put in, all the experiences you've put in, and that's going to go ahead and help you answer the questions that they're going to for sure ask you. So these are the 4 tips that have helped me a lot in improving my interview game, and I'm sure they're going to help you as well. So if you liked the video and you found these tips helpful, please leave a like, comment, it helps a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.